Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Keegan. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave your opinions down in the comment section. Monish Jasbird, Deathblow. Monish Jasbird is an Indian singer and songwriter who's gained a fairly big following on YouTube. He currently has 3.4 thousand subscribers and has been uploading various covers of rock songs for the past year using guitar and bass. However, he seems to have taken a break by that to create an entire album full of original content and songs. And it's truly a full-blown rock record, 8 songs in a full 53 minutes. It seems like he's taking it back to the 80s when bands like Metallica were releasing albums of that length. Is the music any good? We will see as I give my track-by-track review. I don't know if there are any singles, so we're just gonna go through the track list. Deathblow, the opener, and the title track definitely has that 80s tinge to it. The guitar sounds very gritty, rough, not very polished, but just polished enough to seem like effort was put into it. Suddenly, Monish's voice comes in on the first verse like a bat out of hell, with a tone sounding just on the line between Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson and AC/DC's Brian Johnson. His voice does keep good tempo, but I think if he didn't try to strain the falsettos on the verses, it would be a lot better, as his vocals on the chorus and pre-chorus are a bit lower and sound pretty good. Despite his vocals being pretty cringy at times, they may have actually grown on me, especially on this song. I'm also a sucker for a killer bassline breakdown, and this song definitely has that, making the song feel groovier, and also have a nice guitar solo to back it up. Not a bad opener at all. It actually sets the tone pretty well as to what you'll expect from this album. End of the line just kind of confirms my suspicion with the opener that Monish's bass playing is incredible. The overall instrumental is nice, sounding quite similar to Black Sabbath's Paranoid. Monish's vocals this time are right around the right pitch in my opinion. However, what he used to record them on is not really that good, as it sounds extremely in the background. He also seems to try to add every single syllable into one line as clearly as possible, which just kinda sounds off. The guitar solo is nice, but the length of the song is just too long without some sort of major change in tempo that other metal bands would have incorporated. I don't know, this one's not for me, it just kinda feels like a demo. Fading Away is kind of a decent song, but also a pretty big disappointment. It all comes down to mixing and mastering, and this song does not sound clear at all. Again, it sounds like a demo. However, Monish really shows his vocal chops this time. He can really hold a note and strike some power into a chorus if he needs to. It's quite nice, and I also like the guitar and bass breakdowns, and also the slowdown around halfway, where it picks up in the guitar solo. I would just recommend making the overall music a bit clearer, like on Deathblow, and not make it sound like it was recorded on a phone. Aside from that, you got a pretty decent rocking metal hit here. Great Galactic Merge finally brings in some good production again. Bass is just as wonderful as ever, and the guitar work is also fantastic. And unpredictable in a good way at times. Unfortunately, Monish's vocals didn't get any of the special treatment, so they still sound like he sang his verse through a phone. However, the nice slowdowns and speed-ups really add some flavor to the song, and the guitar solo this time is really damn impressive, and it goes so aggressively, I love it. It doesn't feel like it's 6-minute runtime either, so yeah, it's not a bad song. Man of Lightning Strikes, this track is the shortest on the album, barely reaching 5 minutes. The instrumental is actually quite toned down here, kind of feel like an indie rock song, and it actually helps Monish's vocals with the more quiet and subtle guitar picks. Lyrically, it's very positive and uplifting about how you're born to fly and break out of the cage to achieve your goal. This one's actually pretty decent, probably one of my favorites. Life Beyond My Dreams is a full-blown rock ballad, and really doesn't pick up at all, so it's a nice change in the tracklist. A nice guitar solo pops in around 2/3 of the way through the song, which I do enjoy. Fortunately, Monish's vocals aren't stuck in the background, but at times they're actually completely washed out by the instrumental. Even when you can hear it though, they're so drenched in reverb, it's actually kinda crazy. Lyrically, it's kinda tough being about how Monish is dreaming about all this stuff, but there's all these nightmares and guilt that are plaguing him. It's not a bad song either. Shadows Run, the longest song here, at a whopping 9 minutes and 4 seconds. This song is the closest to thrash metal that we get, with some nice chugging guitars and very aggressive, energetic drum work. It's also got this awesome anthemic synth build about halfway through the song, and it sounds great. Monish's vocals are actually not bad this time. They sound up to production, which is nice. The song has all these different thematic and instrumental changes, so it doesn't get boring. It's an engaging song, but not that much to keep around due to its length. And finally, the closer, Terror of Night, actually has the best instrumental production on this album. Unfortunately, Monish's vocals are quite hit and miss. Sometimes they're at the right level, other times they're not, and it's just kind of a shame because this would have been an awesome song if he spent a bit more time with consistent production. The guitar and synth solos are very nice, and it's got a lot more instrumental breakdowns. Weirdly enough, there actually seems to be a bit of static on this song at some times, which is a bit annoying since you could just retake it in production and fix that issue. But in all honesty, this song's fine. Overall, this album is quite an experience. Monish's vocals may turn off a few listeners, almost me as well, I was one of them, but looking past that, there's no denying the dude has musical talent when it comes to his instruments. I think his vocals need a bit more work, both in the production and execution. I can definitely see this album being a stepping stone for his career. Hopefully this can get him a bit of a better producer, and if that's the case, maybe he can redo some of the songs on here. But if I'm being honest, I cannot even see the most diehard of Monish Jasbird fans talking about this album in the future. I'm feeling about a 5 out of 10 on this album. Well guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.